important to recognize today's fighting force, the veterans of tomorrow. I have two examples I'd like to share. 4 Navy SEALs from SEAL Team 6 that took part in the Bin Laden issue about a year and a half ago. They trained for 6 weeks in North and South Carolina before embarking on the dangerous mission. And the mission was completed successfully in 30 minutes without the loss of life to any American. 2 Marines, Corporal Jonathan Yale and Lance Corporal Jordan Haerter in Ramadi. They were attached to 2 different Marine battalions and met when one battalion was getting ready to return home after their 7-month deployment. And the other battalion had just arrived to begin their tour of combat duty. Together they were assuming guard duty at the entrance gate of an outpost that contained a makeshift barracks housing 50 Marines and 100 Iraqi policemen. It was a dirt poor kid from Virginia with a wife and daughter, and a mother and sister that lived with him. And he supported them as well. He did all this on a salary annually of less than $23,000. Haerter, on the other hand, was a middle-class kid from Long Island. They were from 2 completely different worlds. And had they not joined the Marine Corps, they would have never met each other. The mission orders they received from the sergeant went something like this. Okay, you 2 clowns, stand this post and let no unauthorized personnel or vehicles pass. Are you clear? I am sure Yale and Haerter rolled their eyes and probably said in unison, yes, Sergeant, with just enough attitude that made the point without saying the words. No kidding, sweetheart, we know what we're doing. They then took up their post. Later, a large blue truck rumbled down the alley, and it sped its way through the serpentine of concrete Jersey walls. The truck stopped just short of where the 2 stood and detonated, killing both of them. The blast was made of 2,000 pounds of explosives. They saved 150 of their Iraqi and American brothers in arms. What was not known at that time was that one of the security cameras, damaged initially in the blast, recorded some of the suicide attack. 2 Marines had about 5 seconds to live. It took maybe another 2 seconds for them to present their weapon, take aim and open fire. By this time, the truck was halfway through the barriers and gaining speed. Here the recording shows a number of Iraqi police, some whom had fired their AKs, now scattering. Took about a second for the 2 Marines to separately come to the same conclusion. The recording shows the truck careening to a stop in front of the 2 Marines. And all of the instantaneous violence, Yale and Haerter never hesitated. By all reports and by the recording, they never even stepped back. They never stepped stepped aside. They never shifted their weight. With their feet spread wide, shoulder apart, they leaned into the danger, firing as fast as they could. They had 1 second left to live. The truck explodes. The camera goes blank. 2 young men go to their God. 6 seconds. Not enough time to think about their families, their country, their flag, or about their lives or their deaths. But more than enough time for 2 very brave young men to do their duty into eternity. That is the kind of people who are on watch all over the world for all of us tonight.